It's time for Over There with Mirella Rastorfer. Mirella is our European correspondent. She joins us weekly. It is our belief that she's in Switzerland, but these things can change on a dime. Hi, Mirella. What's going on?
Hi, Jill. Yes, things can change, and apparently it's going to be possible to travel again to the United States as of November. So I guess there will be again so much more traveling. But in the meantime, I thought that it would be interesting to talk about Germany. And specifically about Chancellor Angela Merkel, because as you know, very soon there will be elections, and Angela Merkel, after 15 years of leading Germany, will retire. This is something very special in terms of length. 16 years and 16 years legal 16 years in a country as important as Germany in the European Union is definitely a record that I doubt anybody will ever match. And also considering the percent of people that will miss her. And of course, there were a few polls in order to see how she's perceived right now in Germany. And beginning of September, of this month of September, 80% of the German people that were asked thought that she was doing a good job. 80% is really an incredible number, considering that at her lowest, and that was in 2010, because of the euro crisis, she was getting only 50%. And as we all know, 50% is a number that actually most politicians would not be ashamed of having, even in their worst time. So it really looks like every second German say that they will miss her. And considering the time frame of 16 years, people that, for example, are in early 20 today, they basically only remember her. And it's going to be for them the first time that they will go and elect someone else. So that is as present as someone can be in people's life. Independently from all the party, and this is also a very big sign of respect, there will be also people from, for example, the Green Party that will say that she did a good job and that they actually, in certain instances, will miss her. And I think the only party that really, really dislikes her and will not miss her at all is the AfD, which is the right extreme party of Germany. So, but as far as everybody else is concerned, in spite of times where things were difficult, and obviously not everybody agreed with her all the time, and it was not just harmony all over, but Germany in 16 years went through many crises. We can mention the financial crisis, we can mention the rise of the extreme right. We can mention the immigration. Let's not forget that in 2015 she allowed I think almost 1 million immigrants in the country. That was a moment of a big crisis, people being extremely afraid of such an open border. But today it seems like things are actually showing also the positive side of it, in the sense that people that immigrated, on the contrary of what sometimes it is thought of, are people that also learn different professions. They were families with children that went to school and got educated. And all of those people have been entering the economy system, and also allowing a population that is also aging, basically like most of the countries in Europe, allowing this population to have younger people. And having younger people also means having people who will take care of the old age of the one that are basically phasing out from the professional life. So in spite of all the negative at the time, I have the feeling from different reading that there are also some positive points to take from that. And what is also notable with Chancellor Merkel is that her style was always a rallying one. She doesn't really have a bullying tone. She doesn't scream. She doesn't insult. She discusses a lot, and she compromises also a lot. She finds solutions that sometimes definitely are not liked by everybody, but she has also that kind of quiet strength, which allows her to basically pull a decision through in spite of criticism, and obviously satisfying certain people and others being unsatisfied. And this balancing is something that is really acknowledged from on all boards, and given as a credit to her leading style. So I would say that being respected is definitely one of the quality that she is able to awake in people. Last but not least, she is also behind the success, where everything is relative, of course, considering the Brexit, but she is behind the success of a unified Europe. Europe, as you know, went through many crises as well. And while not all the countries always agree, again, it's 28 countries. It's difficult to have always everybody on board. But Germany always believed very strongly that a unified Europe is essential to the stability of the continent. And Chancellor Merkel was definitely a very powerful strength behind that belief. then, of course, the fact that she is a woman is also for many other younger women an example of how to get to the top without being accused of corruption, which in today's world comes sometimes as a big surprise. It's just a woman who showed strength when necessary and empathy when least expected. And all of these qualities are acknowledged today, especially because she is about to finish her mandate. And the thing that I think is also interesting mentioning, though, is that very often she was criticized for how she dresses and how and her haircut and all things that are generally unimportant for men, but very often she was treated as a leader, but as a leader who is a woman and who then automatically is criticized for, the way she dressed or the way she cut her hair. I even remember an episode where she went to an event and had an evening dress that was a little bit more revealing. And for weeks and weeks, papers didn't talk about anything else but her dress. So we can see that in spite of her power, in spite of being a leader through 16 years of ups and downs, at times she was basically treated as a woman who was supposed to look a certain way. And I think this is very important today because younger women not only would like to follow a path of success like she did, but they would like also to be treated fairly and more for the content of what they propose as for their looks.
Thank you very much, Mirella Rastorfer, over there.
My pleasure.